Have you ever experienced bullying, whether by being bullied, witnessing bullying done to others, or even actually bullying someone? Do you remember how it felt? I do firsthand. True story here. I was 12 years old and had just moved to New Mexico from Texas. It was a very awkward time in my life, going into my first year in junior high. I had just left my old familiar school friends and moved over 1,000 miles to an unfamiliar town in the middle of the desert, not too far from the Mexico border. I was not only the new kid on the block, but I was one of only 3 Caucasian families in that small little dusty town. I'm sure I stuck out like a sore thumb with my blonde hair, blue eyes, and light skin. About the second week of school during lunch, as I went to empty my tray, I passed a group of girls giving me the side-eyed look. I tried to ignore them and look away, but I realized now I was the chosen one for that day to be the target. The queen pin girl named Maria came up to me with her crew backing her and said, "Hey, I heard what you called me last weekend at the movie theater, and I don't like it." I tried to defend myself, and I told her I'd never been there, and it wasn't me. I didn't even know what cuss words were. She continued on taunting and accusing me. Thankfully, I was saved by the bell, and she left to go to class, but not before she said, "I'll get you later." I was terrified, since I had never been in a fight before. We lived several blocks away from school, so I walked home every day, and I continually looked behind me. When I got home, I was so worried about Maria's threats that I dug through my jewelry box and found a small pocket knife my dad had given me. Yes, I was a tomboy, and he nicknamed me Sam. I asked my older brother for a sharpening file. I planned to sharpen that puppy up for my security weapon. Can you see me defending myself with a pocket knife up against a pack of mean girls? Thank God I wasn't allowed to follow through with my plan. Instead of confronting the situation head-on, my parents decided to homeschool me. As relieved as I was, that wasn't the best choice for me at that time. The homeschooling lessons showed up in a box, and they stayed in that box all year long. I watched The Price is Right for a full year of my life every morning. I could tell you the price of every canned good on the shelf, but I couldn't tell you how to divide math problems. When I moved back to Texas, I went to enroll in the school that I had just left from previously, and because we didn't have proof of my education for that year, I was held back a grade. It was humiliating to have to go to my old school with my old classmates and be a year behind them. I ended up eventually quitting school. The good thing was that I did make new friends, and it forced me to learn to face some hard things in life, but all of that could have been avoided by making different choices. It's amazing how that memory has stayed with me all these 50 years, but it just goes to show you the severity bullying has on people. Bullying can damage self-worth and has even been the cause of people taking their own lives. Bullying is very serious, and it happens sadly not only to kids, teenagers, but even adults and seniors. Bullying can take on the form of verbal abuse, physical abuse, and emotional abuse. It can come from home, school, workplace, and cyberbullying. Romans 12:21 says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." Paul's message is not about becoming a victim, but about rising above evil through the power of goodness and grace. Do not be overcome. Do not let bullying turn you bitter, fearful, or violent. Overcome evil with good. Choose actions that reflect God's love and justice. Responding with grace doesn't mean silence. It may mean reporting that behavior, confronting with calm truth, seeking community support. You're not weak for showing compassion. You're strong for choosing not to mirror cruelty. Advocate when needed. Teach children how to respond without hate. Adults, reflect on how bullying shaped your life and offer wisdom to younger generations. Share testimonies of overcoming evil with goodness to mentor others. Here are some biblical examples of how to deal with bullying. Jesus on the cross said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they're doing." Joseph forgave his brothers after betraying him by throwing him into a pit and selling him. David spared Saul's life even when he had reason to strike back because Saul was so jealous of him and tried to kill him. Stephen prayed for his attackers as he was being stoned to death. Here are some misconceptions clarified. Forgiveness versus excusing sin. It's about freeing yourself from the poison of hate. Love versus silence. Love speaks truth, sets boundaries, and seeks help when needed. Here are some practical responses. Use calm but firm words. That's not okay, and I deserve to be treated with respect. Remove yourself from toxic environments when possible. Seek help. Talk to a teacher, HR, pastor, or counselor. Pray for your bully. This shifts your heart and invites God into the battle. Here's how to create a culture of kindness. In families, practice empathy, model respect in disagreements. In workplaces, encourage healthy conflict resolution and accountability. In communities, call out bullying behaviors. Encourage kindness campaigns. Why do people bully? Insecurity, learned behavior, lack of empathy, and trauma. Hurting people hurt others. Addressing only the behavior misses the deeper work of transformation. Healing for both victim and bully is the goal, to restore. I have since forgiven Maria and pray for her well-being. I pray God blesses her and has healed her brokenness within. Jesus is our model. He was courageous, forgiving, and never compromised truth. Being like Christ may look weak to the world, but it's the highest form of strength. Here are some practical takeaways. 1. Forgive, even when it's hard, not for them, but for your freedom. 2. Stand up and speak up, for yourself, for others, with courage and grace. 3. Pray daily for wisdom and how to respond in love. 4. Practice kindness as a powerful weapon against cruelty. In conclusion, God calls us not to shrink from evil, nor to repay it in any kind, but to confront it with holy courage, deep love, and relentless hope. Read Romans chapter 12. It's our answer for bullying. I pray you have a blessed week.